cyber
This
security.
conference will now be recorded.
Basically, what is the cyber security? First of all, these are two words. One is the cyber, and is the security. Cyber and security is equal to cyber security. Cyber means nothing but internet. Yeah, cyber nothing but internet. And coming to the security, security nothing but protection, or something like mm, identification, whatever it may be. Identity, identity, or protection, identity, secure, secure. All these things which are going to be coming under security. See, for example, I will take one simple example, guys. There is one simple apartment, is there, a big apartment. So for that apartment, one security guard is available. What is the work of the security guard? He has to he has to protect that particular complete apartment by giving access to the person. So who is entering into the apartment and who is coming out from the apartment, and any new person came into this, and which lock related to the which block, all these things he has to know. Why? Because of he is the guy, he is maintaining the complete apartment. He is maintaining the complete apartment. He knows who is staying in the first floor, who is staying in the second floor, and for whom I need to provide water, for whom I need to provide some electricity. If any problems are there, everything he can able to manage. In the same way, in organizations, in companies, any company, small scale company, medium scale company, or large scale company, organization, a lot of employees are getting joined. A lot of employees are getting joined. So when a new employee can join in the company, so for this employee, what kind of data we have to provide, what kind of authorities we have to provide. Okay, so that is very important. Suppose, for example, a company recruited a mobile developer. A company recruited a mobile developer. For him, first of all, HR team is going to be communicating. HR team, HR team need to give access all this credentials like username and password for the employee with employee ID, all this. So after entering into the company, he has to get the credentials of the mobile team, mobile teams, and he has to get the credentials of the backend teams, backend data teams, and he has to get the credentials of the testing related teams, and he has to get the credentials of database team. For example, mobile developer is going to be working on different modules, like he's designing front end, he's designing back end, and he's working with testing, and he is designing with the UI team. See, these are the different kind of accessibilities we need to provide for that guy. So, for example, the guy called A. So A need to get all the access of the HR team, mobile team, backend team, testing team, and UI team. Okay, before that, one organization is there, one organization, a big organization, and this organization which is going to be having 100 plus applications. This organization developing 100 plus applications. But one new employee got joined for mobile development, as mobile developer. For him, how much data we need to provide, and what kind of applications we need to give access. So one, two, three, four applications we need to give access to him. Four applications only we need to give access to him. As mobile developer, he has to work with HR team, like salary slips, or whatever it may be. So like offer letters, relieving letters, monthly pay slips, all these things HR team can manage. So he has to communicate with HR team, he has to communicate with mobile team, and he has to communicate with the backend team. At the same time, he has to communicate with the testing, UI, all these things. So that is one part. Organization is going to be having 100 applications. We no need to give all 100 application access to him. For mobile developer, we need to give only few things. Okay, a new employee getting joined into the company as a web developer. A new employee going to be joining as a web developer. He is called P. For this person, what kind of applications we need to give access? Okay, HR is compulsory for him, and mobile teams not required. Mobile teams not required. So web development teams like a front end team, we need to give access, and the back end team we need to give access, and testing team we need to give access. At the same time, UI team we need to give access, and the database team also we need to give access. Okay, For example, this person is going to be accessible with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 applications. He can able to access with 7 applications. So we are providing authority or credentials or authentication with 7 applications. Okay, so that's it. And some other guys there, something like team lead, team lead for mobile and web. So his applications are more. Basically, his guys C, and he has to get access with chat, and he has to access with the web team. He has to access with the mobile team, and he has to access with the front end team, and he has to access with the back end team, and he has to access with the UI team, and he has to access with the DB team, and he has to access with the these things he has to access with. Okay, for him we are going to be giving, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or nearby 15 applications we are going to be giving access. 15 applications we are giving access. For example, managing director, or something like head, whatever it may. So for this head need to be operated with everything. For him, we need to give something like 50 applications, for example, 50 applications. Okay, try to understand the point. For mobile developer, we are going to be giving access only 4 or 5, whatever it may be, 4 or 5. For web application developer, we are going to be giving access 7. For team lead, we are going to be giving access 15. For head of the department, some of the company, we are going to be giving access 50 applications. See, we are going to be giving a number of applications access for them. For example, one user ID credentials for the first application. One application we are going to be giving access for the app 1. So app 1 have some user ID and password. App 1 have some user ID and password. Yes or no? If I want to give multiple applications to them, I need to give the user ID and password. User ID again and password again. Password again. And again, app 3 is there. For app 3 also, we need to give access some user ID and password. So separate user ID, separate passwords. For example, whenever I'm going to be providing separate user IDs and separate passwords, he has to log in every day with all applications in office. When he entered into the office, he need to register, or he need to authenticate with 5 or 4 applications. So he has to enter the username, he has to enter the password there. It is going to be taking a lot of time to him. It is going to be taking a lot of time to him. For example, I'm talking about some guy is going to be accessing all 100 applications. So all 100 applications he need to check with every day. So 100 times you need to enter username, 100 times you need to enter password. 100 times username for each and every application, the same time 100 times password. Is this the right way or wrong way? Just ping me in the chat box. Just ping me in the chat box. Is this the right way or wrong way? 100 application he need to be get access every day. For 100 applications, 100 times username, 100 times password. Suppose he has to access 60 applications. 100 are there, but today he is going to be working with the 60 applications. He need to enter username and password for the 60 applications. Your total 8 hours day is going to be getting waste, entering usernames and entering username, entering password every time. So the work is only entering usernames and passwords. Huh? The work is a different thing. Analyze how the people are doing work, and analyze how the salaries are crediting. So he has to check everything. How many people got joined and how many people got eliminated from the company. All these things he has to maintain. So it's taking a long time. It's a wrong way. Actually, it's a wrong way. But what companies are doing? That is the concept now came into the picture. Single sign-on. Remember the point. This is very important throughout our cybersecurity ping identity course. Single sign-on. The meaning of single sign-on, I will tell you. The importance of the single sign-on, I will tell you. So what single sign-on can do, and I will tell multi sign-on first. Multi sign-on, and one more word for that. internet sign-on, internet sign-on, internet sign-on. So what we can do with the multi sign-on, what we can do with the internet sign-on, I will tell. Same thing. The thing is very important, but the thing is very simple. For each and every application, separate user ID, separate password. This is going on. This is going on, not getting stopped. But coming to the single sign-on, coming to the single sign-on, what it is going to be do? One user ID for the employee, one password for the employee. A new employee join into the company. For example, in future, you people are going to be joining into the Accenture or Capgemini or TCS or Wipro. Then what they are going to be doing is they are going to be giving you authentication with one user ID, one password. They are going to be giving you authentication, entering into the company. Door open. What is the door open for your company? The door open is only username and password. They are going to be allocating some username and password to you, and they are going to be giving you one laptop. Sir, open capgemini.com and go to the employee portal. Go to the user ID and password, and you can able to work on your project. So you get only your project. You did not get another project, for example. So you are going to be working with the Ping Identity in the future, for example. You can able to access only Ping Identity related projects, Ping Identity related people communication. You could not able to get a web development team, and you could not able to get a mobile development team, and you could not able to get some other development team, SAP development team. You can able to access only few applications which are going to be related for your curriculum or for your resume or for your job role. So based on your job role, one user ID and password is going to be allocated to you. Sir, that is our work, sir. In future, as identity access management developers, IAM developers, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be managing the identity access. Remember, mind, we are going to be managing the identity access. I'm writing one simple word here. That is a very important word. Identity access management. Identity access management. We are going to be working on identity access management. What this identity access management is? Simple word. Managing identity access. Managing identity access. My simple word is managing identity access. Identity access. Managing identity access means what? We are going to be work on providing the credentials, providing the authentications, providing the allotments. Which kind of applications we need to give the access, which kind of applications we don't give the access. Remember the point. Which kind of applications we need to give access, which kind of applications we don't give access for that particular person. We are managing identity access in the particular environment. So the concept is very simple. Identity access management is simply called IAM. It is simply called IAM. IAM nothing but identity access management. In cyber security, IAM is very important in the market nowadays. A lot of job openings are going to be generating on cyber security. See, in cyber security, multiple things are there. Ethical hacking is there, network hacking is there, and mobile application hacking is there, web development hacking is there, network hacking is there. But identity access management is the very important one, and which is going to be having a lot of job openings nowadays. People are easily getting selected in the companies without coding background, so no need to learn any coding part. So we are not learning C language, we are not learning JavaScript, we are not learning Java, .NET, Swift language, or Python language. We are not going to be learning any kind of programming language, or we are not going to be learning any kind of relational databases or non-relational databases. Just we are learning how to give identity. See, what is the meaning of identity? Anybody? Tell me, what is the meaning of identity? Anybody can ping up. Just I want answer, sir. See, in this particular course, a new terminology, sir, you can ping me in the chat box. No need to talk. in this particular course, there are multiple kind of terminologies will come. So please mute yourself. Ashok, please mute yourself. Thank you. So please ping me in the chat box. What is the meaning of identity? Okay, Chandrasekhar, you are giving a meaning of identity. So I just want to know about the Chandrasekhar. Chandrasekhar, what is your identity? What is your ID? Maybe your Aadhaar card?
Employee
Maybe
ID or
your
name?
no, sir. Person identity. I'm talking about person identity. Person identity. Maybe Aadhaar card.
Aadhaar or PAN card.
Aadhaar card. Sir,
Yes.
please mute yourself, sir. Just ping me in the chat box. No need to talk. Yes, identity, nothing but proof. So what is the proof of proof? What I need to get from you? Aadhaar card I need to get. PAN card I can get. I can just get a driving license. Driving license. Okay, so these are the basic fundamental identity a person can contain. A person can contain with each and every person in the world, each and every person in the India, for example. In India, one person need to be have some identity. That identity is nothing but some Aadhaar card number, PAN card number, driving license, and what they are going to be having with name or your mobile number, communicate with your mobile number and your address, all these things which is going to be available with, and that is the identity for you as a person. That is identity for you. Identity in general way, I'm writing here very clear. Identity in general way. general way General way. Identity in the general way is this one, but now I'm talking about identity in the company as a job employee. Now I'm talking about identity in the company. Identity in company. For example, if you are going to be joining in a Capgemini or Accenture or TCS, identity. So now your ID is simply they are taking your Aadhaar card, they are taking your PAN card, they are taking your driving license. Based on that, they are going to be creating one ID for you. That is something like user ID password. User ID password for the login, employee login. This is employee login. Employee login credentials. Employee login credentials. Okay. With your employee login credentials, you can able to access based on your project related data. Yes or no? Just give me the answer yes or no. In the chat box, just give me the answer yes or no. Based on your username and password, you can able to work with your project. Why? Because of they are going to be giving access all kind of projects to you, which you are going to be working on. Yes. So our cybersecurity, in our cybersecurity course, cybersecurity is not a course. So cybersecurity is a big environment. It's a technology. It's a big environment. In this particular cybersecurity, what you are going to be working with, we are going to be working with identity access management. Okay, so to do this identity access management, there are multiple kind of tools available. The one is a ping federate. The one is the ping federate. The one is the ping access. The one is CyberArk. The one is Okta. Okta. The one is SailPoint. The one is a SailPoint. The one is Ping Federate is there, Ping Access is there, CyberArk is there, Okta is there, SailPoint is there, and one more is ForgeRock. Correct. Sorry, sir. ForgeRock. I did not remember it. Okay. So not only this, but these are the famous. Not only this, other kind of application, other kind of tools are also there. But all these things, total 6 points are very important. 6 tools are very important. A lot of job openings are actually generating. Comparing with all these things, Ping Federate and Ping Access is going to be having a lot of job openings nowadays. So no need to learn every tool, sir. No need to learn every tool. For example, if you are a web developer, Web developer have a lot of backends. Web developer need to learn. Web development can do with a lot of things. Web development can do with PHP. Web development can do with the .NET. Web development can do with Java. Web development can do with Java. And web development can do with Python. Web development can do with Node.js. Web development can do with Ruby. See, I was a web developer. I know all those things. Don't worry about all those things. Just I'm telling example. As a web developer, you can develop your application using with PHP. That's it enough. You can develop your application with the Python. That's it enough. You can develop your application with the Node.js. That's enough. But which is famous in current situation? In current situation in 2022, which is having a lot of demand and which is going to be having a lot of job openings, that subject we are going to be learning. For example, as a web developer, I can tell Python is a very good in the market. So if anybody want to learn web development, I will tell them just go for the Python. Don't go for the PHP, don't go for the .NET. Python have huge openings as web developer. In the same way, to do this identity access management, we have lot of tools available, but which is good in the market, I will tell just go for the ping federate ping access. Just go for the ping federate ping access. That's enough. That's enough. Okay, let me tell you how to work with multi sign-on, how to work with a single sign-on. Diagrammatically I will show. Diagrammatically I will show. So this is a multi sign-on, for example, and this is a single sign-on. Just I am taking a diagram, simple diagram. By the diagrammatically manner, you can able to understand. This is internet sign-on. Let me go to the font. Internet sign-on, and this is the single sign-on. Single sign-on. Okay. For internet sign-on, what it is going to be happening with? One user is there. For example, he is the user. He is the user. He can able to log in with the multiple applications, with multiple usernames and multiple passwords. He has to take the credentials. For example, credential 1 for the credential 1 for the first application. Okay, let me give the credentials. So CRE nothing but credentials. Just I'm writing a short point. CRE nothing but credentials, and this app nothing but application. So he is going to be logging with the first application using with this credentials. He can able to access the application. For example, Gmail. And the same credential for the another application, it will not work. Suppose, for example, he want to log in with the Facebook. For Facebook, he has to be go with another credentials, and another application he can able to access. For example, this is Facebook. One is the Gmail, one is the Facebook, one is the Instagram, one is the Twitter, one is the Telegram. For example, he want to access multiple applications, multiple sign-ons requests. Multiple sign-ons required. So this is hesitate. Getting lot of work. He has to remember all the usernames, he has to remember all the passwords, or he need to be maintain a paper or maintain a book to store the usernames and passwords. Maybe it could be stolen in the future. We don't know, right? Paper can be gone. Paper have endpoint. Maybe your data is having endpoint. This is okay. I'm not writing multiple things. Only I'm writing 3 things here. Okay, like this, some other things also there. So multiple other credentials, multiple other applications. But what is a single sign-on? What is going to be happening with the single sign-on? Single sign-on, which is going to be having highly demanding in the market now. Compulsory, you have to go with the single sign-on nowadays. What is the single sign-on is? Very simple, straightforward. A user is there, and he has to go with one single username and password. He got one single username and password, something like the credentials. He got some credentials. Just try to understand. He got some credentials, and these particular credentials are going to be generating with some. These credentials are going to be maintaining with one identity manager. Identity. I'm just writing a point identity here. So this credential is going to be working with some identity, and he can able to log in with multiple application with a single username and single password. With a single username and single password. We don't know how many applications he can able to access with. With the one username and one password, with one single identity, he can able to access with all kind of applications. One credential, one identity. And this identity is managing all these applications like authentications or authorizations. Authentications and authorizations. So anybody having any questions, please let me know. If people have any questions, I will resolve it immediately. Any questions till now you people having? Any questions you people having till this point? I just want to pause the recordings for a few seconds.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what we are going to be working on, so we are working with the internet sign on, and one more is a single sign on. Internet sign on is nothing but multiple usernames, multiple passwords for the multiple applications. But with a single sign on, one username, one password with identity, that identity is going to be managing each and every application automatically done with. So how this is going to be happen, further classes we will discuss. So we have to discuss each and every pinpoint on this terminologies. Don't worry about the terminologies. I will give you the cheat sheet in the end of the class. End of the class, I am going to be giving you one cheat sheet. That cheat sheet is going to be available with heading and that particular answer for that. What is single sign-on means? So you have to explain it. What is IAM means? You have to explain it. See, what is this OAuth means? You have to explain it. So that is the very reason I need to prepare one cheat sheet. What are the different kind of terminologies which are going to be available in part of the course? This course duration is just 30 hours, no worries. Now I'm just going to be continued with. This is called a seamless integration, seamless access. Now let me move to the one more thing. This is the notes I'm going to be writing here. Okay, let me open IAM here. See, whatever the document I have, I will share with you. Whatever the files I'm going to be having, I will share with you. Just finally observe it. Cyber security, we are learning identity access management. And here, what is cyber security? IAM is. IAM tools keep enterprise safe by ensuring only authorized users. But my point, remember the point. Only authorized users can access sensitive data. See, what is the meaning of sensitive data? So meaning of sensitive data is nothing but your home related things, your sensitive things, and your personal things, your sensitive things. One organization data is sensitive thing. One organization data is sensitive. Your laptop data is sensitive, or your mobile data, whatever the mobile, your applications, your photos, your videos, that is your sensitive data. It means you can able to authorize with your mobile. I could not able to log in with your mobile. Why? Because of nowadays mobiles are having multi-factor authentications. See, people are putting a lot of authentications for that. People are putting face recognition, face recognition password, and people are putting a thumb recognition password, and people are putting different kind of pattern password, different kind of passwords which are going to be available to secure the data. In the same way, in a company, a big organization, for different kind of persons are going to be joining into the company, different kind of employees are going to be joining into the company. So they have to maintain the data as secured in a secured way. So what IAM tools can do, IAM tools keep enterprises safe by ensuring only authorized users can access sensitive data and applications. And applications, not only the data, applications also. So features, there are a lot of features which are going to be available in IAM. Otherwise, people cannot move to the IAM, right? A lot of features which are going to be available. First feature is user provisioning. User provisioning, nothing but, for example, I was the user for one application. I need to have some username and password. That username and password is not there. I can't able to move into that. So Gmail have some username and password means Gmail have some provisioning. If you want to create an email, or if you want to see your emails, all these things, first of all you need to log in. Your email I can't see, and my email you can't see. It means I have some provisioning for my application. So these tools are streamlined onboarding process of user account creation. See, in later in your company, when you are joining into the company for your onboarding day, they are going to be giving you one username and password and one laptop also. That is compulsory nowadays. So in that onboarding process, user account creation is nothing but user provisioning. User account creation and assignment of the authorization. Assignment of the authorization nothing but what kind of applications we need to give access to him. That roles are defining with resources and user can access. That is what actually called user provisioning. User provisioning is a very, very important feature of the IAM. Next feature, centralized access management. Centralized access management. For example, one application is there. That application need to be allowed for web developer and mobile developer. So that could be there, no matter where application data reside. IAM centralize the management, those resources, so admins can uniformly manage access authorization controls. Okay, admins can able to access all the authorization control. For example, I will take a bank. In the bank manager can able to open the lock of the cash, and bank manager can able to open the lock of the gold rack. So he can able to open the gold rack, he can able to open the cash rack. But one employee in the bank, simple employee in the bank, he is something like a cashier, he is something like a different person, but he can't able to open the door of the gold. He can't able to open the door of the cash. Why? Because of he did not have that much accessibility. He did not have that much accessibility or authorization. So centralized access management means one person he can able to operate everything in the company. One person he can able to operate everything in the company. So he has to go with authorization control. So that is a very important infrastructure in the IAM. And one more is the single sign-on. We already discussed about single sign-on. What single sign-on is? The process of users authentication one time through a centralized portal, and then he has to access a full access resources that was there without needing undergo additional authentication steps. Remember the point. Additional authentication steps. For the second application, no need authentication. For third application, no need authentication. For fifth application, no need authentication. For 17th application, no need authentication. Authentication only once. One time authentication, automatically he can able to access the complete all information applications, whatever he needed for that. And just follow the diagram. So whatever the diagram I just given, same diagram it is. Identity access management, which is going to be having a management of lifecycle identities. Provisioning nothing but granting access. Deprovisioning nothing but revoking access. See, sir, this diagram is our work. In company, what we have to do is this diagram. Managing lifecycle of identities, provisioning, granting access, deprovisioning, revoking access. One more thing is authentications, how to create authentication, how to create authorization, how to work on single sign-on. That's it. This is our work, sir. What is the meaning of authentication? Authentication is a new terminology now. Authentication, nothing but who you are. That is authentication. Authorization, nothing but what you can do. Authentication, nothing but your PAN card, your Aadhaar card, your driving license. All this is nothing but authentication of you. Authorization, nothing but you need to go with one more user ID password to work in the company. That is something like authorization. You are getting some authorization to do the work. You are getting authorization, entering into the kitchen, prepare the chicken. Understand it? So your mother allows you, then only you can go into the kitchen and prepare the food. Your mother is not allowing you, you can't able to do the chicken. That's it, very simple. Authorization is required. Authentication is who you are. Authorization is what you can do. Now we go with the single sign-on. Single sign-on, nothing but one username one password, login once. Remember the 3 points: one username, one password, login once. Just observe the diagram. In that particular diagram, without single sign-on, what is going to be happening with single sign-on, what is going to be happening without single sign-on? One user, login one, web application one, login two, web application two. Can you see this? Can you see this? Understand? Every time he has to log in with a different kind of application, different kind of logins. But what we can do with a single sign-on, one single sign-on can able to access with all kind of applications, right? This is the very important point we have to remember. And this picture only your work in the company. See, some other things also there, but this is the major part of the work. Single sign-on maintenance, identity management, identity access management is your major role for your work in the company. Just remember the points. Just remember the points. Now, I need to play the things. So without single sign-on, what is going to be happening with? Without single sign-on, there are multiple problems will come. Problems with this approach. Problems with this approach. What is this approach? Without single sign-on. Takes time, reduces the speed. Definitely taking time. Entering username every time, entering password every time, it is reducing the application development speed, and it is taking a lot of time to you. Next, one more thing is difficult to remember the password and username for all the applications. Difficult to remember all the passwords, usernames for all the applications. In my personal life also, I have a lot of usernames and passwords for my different kind of applications. Every time I'm forgetting the passwords. What I have to do with? So I registered with a lot of web applications, sir. I'm always forgetting my passwords. Every time I need to recreate my passwords. That is a big headache, sir. It makes you feel irritated. It makes you feel irritated. And one more point, increases the help desk workload. So who is helping you? Who is helping you in the company? So he has to create usernames and password to you. Increases the help desk workload. Poor security habit. Poor security habit, nothing but I will tell you. I will explain about it. See, you may think like, sir, if I am going to be accessing 10 applications in my personal life, can I create the same username, same password? If people are maintaining the same username, same password, obviously you are opening door for the cyber attacks. Got my point? If you have same username, same password for all the applications from your network, from your IP address, this is the open door for the cyber attackers. Unfortunately, they are hacking your IP address, and they will check what kind of username he is entering number of times, what type of password, what kind of password he is entering number of times. They can able to easily track. Yeah. By this situation, your system get hacked by someone. That is a major big mistake in the real world, IT world. Sorry, in the web world, in internet world. Poor security, not poor, heavy poor. Maintaining the same username, same password. Okay, that's it later. And coming to the users and applications, there are multiple users, multiple applications need to be accessed with single sign-on. How this is going to be working with single sign-on authentication workflow. Just try to understand what is this authentication, how this authentication is working with single sign-on. 3 points. One is the user agent, one is the IDP, one is the SP. User agent, nothing but your laptop, your web application. IDP, nothing but identity provider. Identity provider. See, identity access management done with identity providers. We are working with identity access management, but that identity access management providing with a different kind of providers, different kind of products. See, like your CyberArk, 4G, 4G, and Okta and Ping Identity, SailPoint. All these kind of things are IDP. IDP, nothing but in identity provider. Remember the point, identity provider. Next, coming to the SP. SP, nothing but service provider. Service provider. Service provider. Google is providing some service to you. Google have so many applications. Google have YouTube. Google have Gmail. Google have G Drive. Google Drive. Google have Google cheat sheet. Okay, these are the different kind of things, nothing but service providers. Remember one more time, I'm just repeating this. User agent nothing but your laptop, your desktop, your browser. IDP nothing but identity provider. Identity provider is nothing but our course, like our ping federate, our ping access, ping ID, or CyberArk, 4G doc, whatever it may be. And SP nothing but service provider, who is providing service. That your application is something like a service provider. Okay, so just to understand the point, what is user agent can do? User agent is typically user web browser from your sending a request to the application. That is the user agent. What is this IDP? IDP nothing but identity provider. Identity provider plays an important role of producing identities that provide authentication within single sign-on federation. Identity provider plays an important role. So we are learning this course. We are learning identity provider, ping identity, ping access. What we can do with the ping identity, what we can do with the ping access, we will do later. Next, service provider. There are multiple kind of applications in the service provider. Service provider stands for SP stands for service provider, application that provides you some services. Okay, Salesforce give you some service. Office 365 give you some services to you, and Microsoft Teams also giving so many services to you. Webex also giving some services to you. Okay, so how the workflow should be happened with IDP and SP always in the trust relationship. Identity provider and service provider both are having some trust relationship. How this relationship is going to be maintained with? First, user agent user agent sending something to the IDP first. What IDP can do? IDP creating what a XAML assertion. XAML assertion nothing but security assertion markup language. Security assertion markup language. That is called XAML assertion. What this XAML assertion can do? This is something like a signature. This IDP is going to be creating one signature. Immediately that signature sending to the service provider. Immediately based on the relationship, trust relationship, that signature, that secured key or signature or document, whatever it may be, it is sending to the SP. SP nothing but service provider. Service provider can check. There is some concept of encryption decryption. Later we will deal with that. Just try to understand the architecture first. IDP sending that particular key, security key sending to the service provider. That service provider bulb. What this bulb is nothing but session gets started. It means that application can be accessible. Application can be accessible. Immediately one more application need to get access. One more application need to get access means immediately the same XAML assertion sending that thing into the separate application. See, session can start. One user ID, one password, managing with identity provider, and identity provider giving access all the applications to the user. That's it, sir. Very simple, sir. Very simple. So this is done. I'm just writing only 2 applications here, but in the real time in your work, you have to work with the multiple application accessibilities. You have to managing the life cycle, like giving access, stopping access, revoking access, deleting access. This is your work. You are not writing any programming. You are not writing Java. You are not writing .NET. You are not writing something like Python. You are just giving access, deleting access, creating users, creating services, creating authentications, authorizations. That's finally our work, sir. Authentication challenge. So what is authentication challenges? Authentication challenges access granting, set up authentications if it is required, and access denying. Sometime I need to deny the access. So this employee getting resigned with the company, then we need to switch off the access. How to switch off these accesses? All these things are going to be happening with the. So we are going to be having a lot of things to discuss with in the further classes. Don't worry about it. So today I just want to go and stop here. If anybody having questions and queries, you can ask me.